Good day, brothers and sisters. How's everyone? How are you holding up in the struggle right now? There's a lot going on, isn't there? Right? Um, the change of hands has really signified a lot of things beginning and word coming out. I wanted to touch base today on some things. Still working on the John 17. Um, I had to take a break from it for a little bit because of some things in my flesh, actually. And that's what prompted me to come on and talk to you today. Some things that I've been learning from the Ruach about our flesh. And no, I haven't been like sinning. like, well, I mean, we all sin every day, but I mean, like, I haven't been doing, like morally bad things. But my battle has been with, for about 3 weeks, my body just refused to sleep. And I was trying to get control over that, like battling my flesh, my body. And it's not my body, it belongs to Yeshua. So I was having trouble, like being up all night until like 8 a.m. the next morning, and then trying to grab some sleep, and then getting back up at 11:30 a.m. or noon. That is not an acceptable sleep rhythm for me. I don't like that. I like to go to bed early, and I like to get up early, because otherwise, if I sleep in, I'm real sluggish. So that's what I mean about battling my flesh. Another thing is a temptation has come to me again about, um, I really love to do paper crafting, okay? And I hadn't, it was a problem for me some years ago where I would just spend hours upon hours doing that. And then when I wasn't doing it, I was thinking about it. And so that's when that kind of thing comes, that's a problem, because it's a form of idolatry, even though we're not worshiping it. It just, if it takes more time than the time that we spend with Father, that is where the catch is. That's where things like that become idolatry. And these kind of things could be innocent, in our intention, but that is the spiritual principle behind it, because the adversary will monopolize on that. So there's 3 points that I wanted to, I felt like the Ruach wanted me to come and talk to you about. In this time right now, Father's calling us all real close to Him. And I've made videos of speaking about what's going on right now. And it's been confirmed through other prophetic voices. So it isn't just me, hearing these things. But the issues that I see is where people would think, like, say for instance, we'll use me for an example, okay? Because I don't want you guys to feel like I'm picking on you or anything. That isn't ever something that I really want to do. So we'll use me. So this problem with my sleep, and this body just refusing to go to sleep. We could consider that to be an attack of the adversary, sleep disruption and all that. But my thing is, when it comes to that, I never like to give him credit, especially if it isn't him. And this is where one example is where the flesh will just act out. It'll act up because of what's going on in the soul. Okay. So a sleep disrupted pattern can be like if there's something going on with a person and they're not having peace in their soul. If something's got the soul agitated or that kind of thing, it takes your peace. And so I'm not saying that I was being soulish. It's just, life happens, right? And there's just things that occur. And so I'm not gonna say that was the enemy taking my peace, that it was an assault or anything like that. It was just one of those times, but I did learn something through that. I was taking it on myself to try to battle and regulate my sleep rhythm. Okay, this is just an object lesson. Okay, and you guys can apply it to whatever you're working on. And no matter how much I fought and fought and fought and tried to reset my sleep rhythm, it just wasn't. I was wearing myself out and I was getting so irritated with myself. It's like, you know, will you just lay down and go to sleep already? But I asked some of the brethren to start praying for me. See, there again, we go to the brethren, right? The body's important. And then also I was reaching out to Father. I'm like, Father, please help me. I don't this is unacceptable. I cannot do this. This is disrupting everything, right? And the soul will do stuff like that. And so the last couple nights I've noticed, when I surrendered that to the Father, I've been able to, get to sleep and get up. Um, so it's about yielding over. We always think that we need to. Okay, there's two schools of thoughts. Thank you, Father, for that. There's two schools of thoughts on working through an issue. The one is where we jump in the driver's seat and we try to be in control of that. The other is to just take a place of repose. Oh, well, God is in control. And He is, but I'm just talking about this lazy approach. Well, you know, God will straighten it out for me, blah, blah, blah. We need to pursue the Father during our times like that, because the fact of the matter is that He actually is in control. But He will not bully us or beat us down, right? To get us to do something or push us into a position of, okay, I'm just gonna, He doesn't like hard break us unless we're really rebellious, but that's some whole other discussion. But what I'm saying is our job in the battle is to look at what we're having a difficulty with and understand that our proactive part is to keep pressing into Father and yielding that over. Put it under subjection to Him, okay? And sometimes that's a wrestling match, spiritually speaking, to get things under the feet of the sovereign king, okay? And so I can say that from experience, and people that knows me in normal real life on the other side of the screen, um they know that's I push for that. We just have to just keep yielding it over, laying it down. We have to push in to the Father, no matter how tired we get, no matter how weary we are, okay? I'm not always perfect with that, but I sure try, you know. Sometimes I'm a little bit hard headed, so it takes me a little bit. But so long as I finally get it through my noggin, wait a minute, wait, something else is going on here. We have to go to the Father always on all things. Another thing that the Ruach wanted me to bring up is about the mind, the thought process. Okay, so we talked about the flesh, right? We can't even control our own flesh. Yeshua is the one that can do that. The mind battlefield, the mind of man, okay, remember the scripture says in Proverbs, don't lean on your own understanding, right? Or thought process or how we think things should go, etc. Yeshua is the only one who can control that. Now, do we take that place of repose? Oh, well, blah, blah, blah. No, we don't. We have to press in and keep putting the thoughts under captivity. And spend time in the Word. Develop the mind of Yeshua that's in you. Okay, that's what we think about. Because that battlefield, that's where it rages. And that's where the demonic will plant seeds, thoughts, okay? Thoughts are seeds. And if we entertain that too much, then it filters down and roots in the heart, and then it's a big problem. So we got to get that thought life. We got to get our own perceptions of things in line with the mind of Yeshua. The place we learn that is Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. But even at that, it isn't us in control of that. It's the King in control of that. And that's because in the times coming, you guys, very soon to come, our eyes, what we perceive, and our thoughts are going to conflict. Abba gave a prophecy back 2019 where he said that there was going to come a time when your eyes and your mind will be in disagreement because of the things that our eyes show us. Our mind is not going to be able to grasp onto it. So we have to have the mind of Christ, because the mind of Yeshua is where we will understand things, not our own. The mind of man, the intellect, the thought, the mind of the soul is not our friend. It isn't. It just isn't. So the third point that I want to talk about is William Brooks. Or no, excuse me, I take that back. Sister Glenda Lomax got a word from Yeshua. And he was talking to her about an incoming attack from an enemy. Now, if you go back in the videos, you'll remember a dream that I talked about where there was bombs that had hit here, bomb craters, and the the rocket that I seen going across the sky in slow motion, like Abba slowed that down so I could get a good look at that. So she was saying that, and that's just confirming, okay? She just posted this video on her channel, so go and look at Glenda Lomax's channel on that, and see what Abba had to say to her. She was talking about an attack gonna come. War is coming to our soil, and we've all been saying this like over and over many different times. The only way that we will be able to be led to safety is if we remain very faithful to Yeshua right now, okay? And remember the words that he's been given the last, I want to say 2-3 years, have all been talking about war, okay? Spiritual war and natural war. To prepare, to get ready, to let him train us, okay? And automatically our thought process goes to the natural physical, but it's our spiritual that's going to get us preserved and protected during these times, okay? And so again, I say, get ready, prepare. We must be full of the word. You know, Father was convicting me even yesterday and today, maybe the day before too, about faithfulness. How faithful am I to him? And seeing that goes back to that paper crafting addiction that I have. Okay, the temptation has come. So, you know, and I've been battling that. I'm like, no, I don't need to be doing that. I don't need to be doing that. I do little things here and there, but not, you know, I know that that's something that I don't need to participate in. But when the urge and the itch is there real strong, that's a distraction from the adversary. I still have to defy that, you know. Best way to overcome that, anything like that, any temptation, anything that would come and try to trip us up in our walk, the best way to overcome is to do the opposite. So I'm doing the opposite. I'm not touching that. So there's a reason, you know, for that to come. And it's because I think Father is calling, you know, talking to me about being more faithful or develop a different level of devotion, a different level of being faithful to Him. You guys, the things that are coming are not going to be easy, not for any of us. And things are getting more and more difficult each day, whether it be assaults from the adversary, the things going on in the government that's making it hard for people to live. People are going to have a measure of faith that they've never had before. And even those of us who think that we're, you know, got a strong faith, we're still going to have a difficult time. I'm not even going to try to fool myself on that, because I just know that that's how that's going to happen. You know, what are we going to do when the internet goes down? What are we going to do when the grid goes down? What are we going to do when there's no food? What are we going to do, you know, on and on, because this is the reality of what's coming. I'm not saying that it's all going to hit this year all at once or anything like that. I just know it's coming because Father's been talking to me about it for a little bit. The best way to get ready for it, of course, uh, putting stock away, like Noah, like Joseph in Egypt, right? Make those preparations. But the other more important part is to make sure that we are developing our spirituals and not, well, God knows my heart, da da da. That isn't going to work now, okay? We've got to take a proactive approach and press and press. And you guys, we're tired. A lot of us are bewildered, okay? We're weary, but we must keep pushing. It's important now. So our mind, our flesh would say, well, I'm just tired. I'm worn out. I just don't have the wherewithal. You got to pull yourself up by your bootstraps and find fortitude in there and push, because really, you guys, our lives depend on it. Okay? I don't know how else to say that. It's time for us to all move into being one together, like John 17 says. Get rid of the divisions, offenses, suspicions, just whatever ism that there is that keeps us from being one together. Because the coming into one is coming one into Yeshua as well. That's an absolute must do. We got to put away all the things that are of this world, and that even includes the way that we look at each other. Oh, well, I'm not going to talk to so and so because, okay, we got to put that stuff away. Put it away. Because it actually, it isn't for the other person, it's for you if you put it away. I myself am still working on those areas, and I understand how important it is. Okay, but my soul is like, rah, rah. So I have to tell the soul, sit down, shut up. You're going to get us destroyed if you don't stop it. Because I can't be having that. I can't. I have things to do. The ministry that I'm called to is still in the preparatory phase, believe it or not, even after all this time. And it'll kick into high gear when all these things that Father's talking about comes. Okay? But this is why I'm trying to help get people ready in the meantime, because of what this ministry is going to do and other ministries just like it. Okay? I'm not the only one. There's many, many all over the world just like it. And we have to stay humble and just patient with the Father. Be faithful to Him. Minister to Him. Spend that time. You guys, I get busy with life and things going on, and it pulls me off back into the cares of this life and into this world system. And I've had it. I have absolutely had it. I don't want nothing to do with this Babylonian system. I don't want nothing to do with Egypt, because it does nothing but work death in us. So I'm trying to pull out. We have to be here, okay, because Father is in us and He has to reach His world. He has things that He wants to do. Each and every one of us has a part to play in that. That's why we have to be a united body. A dislocated body A limb on a body that's dislocated, it doesn't even move. It doesn't do anything. It's like worthless, okay? That's why we have to come into unity. All the things that divide us, we need to surrender that to the Father and come together because, and it doesn't even matter from ministry to ministry to ministry, brand to brand to brand, okay? None of this should matter anymore. We need to come in to a united body. Stand up one man in Yeshua, in him. Okay, all this crud, this dirt, this filth, this self-will, mind of all this stuff has to go bye-bye. Okay? It has to be purged. Well, how does it purge? We yield it. Here, I don't want this anymore, Father. Okay? Take a proactive approach. Press, push, 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 push. That's how we do it. We can't be little limp noodle sons of God. We've got to get up and run. We've got to get up and press and push and do what we need to do. Come together. Learn to love. Do you know that love is the most powerful thing? Okay? You know, and I get it. People could say, well, I've never really learned love. Well, it's because we haven't pressed into the Father, because Yeshua, that's the only place where you can learn love. Not mankind type of love. Real love. Okay, and I know this from my own life. All right. So, we need to ask the Father to baptize us in love, his love. That love, all the negative feelings that we have and we experience, bad feelings, ill feelings towards each other and other people out in the world, the way to overcome that and to get rid of that is to start receiving love from the Father. Remember, to overcome, you do the opposite. If you have a stronghold point, okay, rebuke that. Remember, the demonic, okay, their names are what they do. And you can see the fruit of their influence if you really realistically will lay down your pride and look at things and see where they've been influencing, where they've planted the seeds here and they've ended up in the heart. Okay. We've got to get over ourselves. You guys, that's in the Why Freak Out video. Okay. That's where the Ruach enabled me to teach about the fact that we are not a self. Remember, we're just a appendage on a body, right? Shouldn't have personal feelings that way. We should only have really the emotions of Father in us, because his emotions are right, his emotions are just, and they're holy. Okay, we can have holy anger. And don't sit there and gainsay and be like, oh, I got a holy rage at this person. If it's directed toward a person, it's not a holy rage. Sorry to burst your bubble on that. We have to have holy rage at the adversary. Okay? We got to put those feelings where they belong, not toward one another. It's not acceptable in Father's kingdom, nor is it acceptable in his household either. So anyway, I just kind of wanted to come on today and talk about these things and to just kind of point this stuff out, because I feel like the Ruach wanted me to do this. Give a little nudge and get up and run. Okay, we've all just got to start laying things down and press in. Like, He's our only hope, okay? So anyway, he's all there is, right? So that's all I wanted to say today. So I just pray that you guys really take stock in what I'm saying here today. And Abba willing, we'll get back into a better rhythm. Man, oh man, it's been rough. So anyway, again I say about Instagram, go and follow me over there. I'm not really posting very much. And you guys, oh my gosh, I've been under assault over there. I haven't even been posting much. I haven't really been saying much of anything. And man, oh man, people are coming at me. So it's like, okay. And I see Jezebel over there. But the only reason I did that, again, I say, is because of the problems with the computer so that we can do live meeting times together over there. So go and follow me on Instagram. I know some of you don't have enough phone memory to download the app, so I understand that. But and I'm not upset about it either. I understand, okay? So, but at any rate, those of you that can, please do. And that way we can do uh, live on that together and fellowship until I get the computer straightened around somehow. So, anyway, that's all I wanted to say. Okay, you guys keep running, keep pressing. Okay, Abba bless you, and I love you guys so very much. Okay, until next time. Bye bye.